Hi guys, so I've been trying to build my characters and teams recently and was trying to farm artifacts and level up weapons and talents of those characters. I was doing it for the Abyss, which I grew to hate later on, but what bothered me the most is that I could easily beat every enemy in open world and was able to beat any boss except for Ajdaha and Signora. Signora being an exception because with a little effort and some extra time, she wasn't really a huge problem, and I usually go to bosses with other people anyway, as it's more fun and much faster. So there really wasn't any challenge per se, except for certain events and the Spiral Abyss. After farming for a while, I kinda lost the sense of playing a game and genuinely enjoying it, so I stopped farming. This made me think about what I was doing for the last 2 months since I've reached AR55, and I realized there isn't really much to do in the game, let alone interesting things to do. So after giving it some thought, I present to you a very short list of things you can do in your Genshin endgame, and maybe you'll find something that works best for you. Let's start with the obvious one, the Spiral Abyss. You farm artifacts, build your characters and teams, level up their weapons and talents, and learn to play the game more efficiently, and maybe also learn the math behind the game. One good thing about chasing the Abyss is that your goal is pretty clear and you can also get all the primogems every half a month. However, there are more cons than pros to it. The simplest example would be that it resets with every update and is made to be easier with the characters that the game is promoting at the moment. Having some meta characters like Zhongli, Ganyu, Hu Tao or Kazuha will make it a lot easier, though certain rotations will still be very tough. Another problem with the Abyss is that it requires you to invest a ton of time and effort into building your characters. This can be both a pro and a con depending on what you want from the game. It is definitely best for people who like some extra challenge, and I would suggest at least going once per reset. Another thing you can try is to get achievements. There are currently 530 achievements in total that give around 4000 primogems. It's not a lot, but you can get some name cards and try to complete some absurd ones, like getting 10,000 interactions with NPCs or getting killed by a boar. However, most of the achievements boil down to grinding. For example, opening 800 chests in Liyue or getting 800 rewards from Blossoms of Wealth or Blossoms of Revelation. Another type of achievements are dependent on your luck of getting certain commissions. There are certain ones that I haven't gotten even once in a whole year or did get one time and never again, which also makes it almost impossible. In a sense, it is similar to the Abyss, but the ratio between effort and result is much worse. I wouldn't recommend it as your main focus, but again, having it in your list as something to do when you're bored will not hurt. The next one is kinda extreme, but I'm pretty sure some of you are already doing it to some extent. What I'm talking about is 100%ing the game. Well, Genshin is not finished by all means, and there are too many things you won't be able to complete or achieve. However, the game has exploration areas, certain achievement groups, statues and trees, the teapot, reputation and the adventure rank that you can get to 100%. Unlike the Abyss, once beaten can give you a sense of victory, and unlike achievements that can give you a sense of accomplishment, going strictly after things that can be measured by the game and getting those things can give you a sense of progress. It is as, if not more grindy as the previous two options, but an option nonetheless. Then again, this one can also be the most rewarding. For example, for completing every achievement and every except for 2 achievement groups will grant you unique name cards. Statues give you adventure rank, primogems, sigils, while trees give you wishes, crowns and weapon billets. So, if you still want to play the game for hours per session, I would highly recommend you to give it a try. I will include hangouts in this category because of the nature of its system. The one option I'm gonna talk about next is on the opposite side of the spectrum. It is a skipping until new content kinda type of playstyle, if you can call it that. A lot of people are already doing it, I'm sure, but it can be tough for players who struggle with fear of losing out. This skipping is defined by playing only if there is a new exciting event or when a new update comes out, and upon finishing all new stuff, to stop playing until the next new thing. For me personally, I couldn't do that, but this can be a nice option for you. The best thing about it is that it is way better for your mental health because you're taking breaks so often. It is probably the go-to for more casual players who don't have too much time for the game but still enjoy playing it. This is the only option that doesn't really require any grinding, which is a big plus. One downside is you won't be progressing as fast as people who log in daily. Building. Who doesn't like making something beautiful with your 2 hands, like decorating your serenity pot and making it look like a paradise? This option is probably the weirdest one. Creating furniture in Genshin is awful. It's too long and takes a lot of resources, and there is a limit of things you can put in one piece of land. On top of that, you can put things on top of each other. You can do it by using glitches of course, but I would rather have it by default. However, done properly, some pots look really pretty. You can see the commitment of the person who made it, and maybe it'll make you want to show off your own skills too. It'll take quite some time, but you can physically see the result, which is gratifying on its own. Unlike other options, however, you won't get any reward for that, except maybe leveling up the teapot if you haven't done it before, or finally completing some achievements. Staying on this topic, character building or weapon building is also a nice endgame goal. For example, you can choose one character you like that you haven't really built before and try to build that character. This works best for me as it doesn't require too much time and you can see how your character gets stronger. It isn't very different from building a character for the Abyss really, however your goal in this is not necessarily beating the Abyss. The last thing on this list is making player-created content. I'm talking about art, cosplay, memes, videos, fanfics, music streaming and so on. Technically, you're not playing the game while making one of these, but if you have nothing else to do as you do after reaching AR55, you can try yourself in content creation. The easiest ones will certainly be posting memes and making videos. Creating content is hard, especially if you want to make some quality content. However, you can do it for fun, which will make it way easier. For example, if you're good at Abyss, you can make a showcase out of it just by recording your usual playthrough. If you're good at building characters and teams, you can record your build tests and post it on YouTube. Or if you know how to get an achievement faster, you can make a guide for other players. If you've never made any content ever, it might sound scary or hard to do, but if you ever wanted to make any type of content, this can be a good start for you. If you want to make music, for example, take your favorite soundtrack from the game and try to remix it. You don't have to upload it anywhere, so keep that in mind and just go for it. Now that we've gone through our list, I wanted to emphasize that it doesn't really matter what you do in your endgame or in the game in general, as long as you're enjoying yourself and having fun. Another thing to consider is that the game will live for some time, so you don't really have to complete everything right away. Besides, you can do multiple things simultaneously. At the end of the day, doing anything will get you achievements and building your characters will get you further in the Abyss, so take your time and have fun. Anyways, these were the things I found to be the only things you can do after reaching higher adventure ranks, but if you found some more or have different thoughts on this topic, let me know in the comment section down below. It's been Delioku and I'll see you in the next video.